So my passion for education reform comes from seeing its impact on students and their families. I had studied it as an academic subject, but it wasn't until, as part of a volunteer project, I set foot in a school in South Central Los Angeles. And that really kind of hit things home for me a little bit. This was a school where nearly every kid was coming from an economically disadvantaged background or a family where English wasn't spoken at home. And yet, almost every one of these kids had their hand up in class. The school was outperforming the schools in Beverly Hills academically. The kids were just thriving. And it turned out this was a charter school that former district teachers had founded because they wanted to give the kids in their community an option and opportunity that they'd never had before. And it was something that was just spectacular to behold. I chose to join the Goldwater Institute because I believe that the free expression of ideas is the bedrock of a vibrant society, especially in a partisan age like today. And I think that education gives the greatest opportunity to lift people up regardless of their background. And the Goldwater Institute's been dedicated to protecting freedoms both in education and in speech, and I'm glad to be a part of that. The Goldwater Institute's mission in education policy is to expand the opportunities that families have to give their kids the best education possible. And the Goldwater Institute's been a leader in this for years, both in Arizona and nationally. For example, pioneering the Empowerment Scholarship Account program, which right now serves thousands of students in Native American reservations, students with special needs, or coming from the foster care system or poorly performing schools, by giving their families resources to help them afford and access other educational avenues that fit their needs, all while relieving some of the spending by taxpayers. One of the things that I think most people agree on is that kids are struggling in the U.S., both academically or emotionally, and many of the systems that are in place are failing to serve them. And I think one of the most important things that we can do is to empower educators to create communities that are focused not on adhering to cookie-cutter approaches that were carved out decades ago, but focusing on building the skills and character of their kids today. And at the same time, empowering parents and families to choose those communities that will challenge their kids to reach their full potential. School choice is important because no one system can be expected to meet the needs of every student in every circumstance. And the idea that a student's educational future should be determined by their zip code and the school that they're assigned to, regardless of its quality or its safety, really isn't fair or compassionate. I'm excited to share a lot of the information that's out there about the success of charter schools and some of these opportunities where the data really has shown that these have been life-changing opportunities for many students. They're breaking outside of the mold and trying to give students an opportunity that they wouldn't otherwise have.